You know that feeling when you're counting down the days until school break? You can almost feel the slower mornings, the fun activities, the extra time together, and maybe, just maybe, a little breathing room. And then the break arrives and your autistic child is more dysregulated than usual. They're melting down over tiny things, refusing activities that they had been excited about, and hanging on to you like you're their emotional support animal. It's almost like the universe saw your plans for a relaxing break and said, "That's adorable." Suddenly you're thinking, how did something I wanted so badly become this exhausting? Breaks are hard in ways that have nothing to do with parental effort and everything to do with how these transitions hit your child's autistic nervous system. And when you can reframe what's happening and use the tools that actually match the moment, the whole break becomes far more workable. And I've lived this for over 2 decades with my son, and now through hundreds of families I coach. I hear all the time that breaks are this strange combination of joy and instability, hope and disappointment, love and overwhelm. So today, we're going to look at the 3 layers of transitions that make breaks uniquely challenging, why fun can actually create dysregulation, why expectations fall apart so quickly, and how to reset the break when things feel like they're going sideways. If you're new here or if you find this guidance useful, I hope you'll hit the like button and consider subscribing and sharing this channel with other parents who might benefit from the content. All right, let's dive in. So here's one thing that can help you immediately. Create one predictable anchor today, just one. A morning ritual, a daily walk. It might be a story after lunch or a dance party before dinner, something, just one. Even when everything else is chaos, that single anchor gives their nervous system something to hold on to. And now let me show you why this works. So, as I know you already know, breaks are really complicated for parents of autistic children. On the one hand, you truly love the idea of having extra time, less rushing, maybe a chance to slow down, not do homework. On the other hand, when the dysregulation kicks in, you might find yourself thinking, okay, when is school starting again? Suddenly that school calendar on the fridge starts to look like a countdown to freedom. And you're not a terrible person for that. At least that's what I always tell myself. Breaks remove the structure that your child relies on. They change the routines that your child has finally adjusted to. And they bring this mix of excitement and unpredictability that can feel like an emotional roller coaster. The love-hate feeling, it's normal. Every parent I work with experiences it. There are 3 distinct layers of transitions happening during every school break, and most parents only notice the middle one, but all 3 matter. First is the transition into break. This is the one that often catches parents off guard. Routine suddenly shifts, school stops, everything that has become predictable ends. And while you might think, yay, freedom, your child might feel uncertainty, excitement mixed with anxiety, sensory overload from holiday events, or emotional buildup from anticipating something new. If you've ever seen your child get more dysregulated right before something that they're excited about, this is why. Nothing like a relaxing school break to give you a new appreciation for how much you appreciate that morning scramble. Number 2 is the transition during the break. Breaks are filled with micro transitions. Every pleasant unpredictability is still unpredictability. One day you have visitors, the next day you go somewhere amazing, the next day plans change because someone's sick or it's raining or you're exhausted. To a nervous system that relies on sameness, even that fun feels like chaos. Third is the transition back to real life, and this is often the hardest part. Just when your child has finally adjusted to the new rhythm of break, we change everything again. Back to waking early, back to social and academic expectations, back to structure, whether they feel ready for it or not. And because the nervous system is already depleted from the break's unpredictability, the emotional cost shows up immediately. This is why the first days, sometimes the first weeks even, after a break, can feel like starting from scratch. When you layer up the 3 transitions together, into the break, within the break, and out of the break, it's no wonder everything feels off balance. The good news is, once you understand this, once you have an idea of the impact of all of these transitions, it does help you shift your mindset into something that helps you manage them with more grace. Something parents do tell me all the time is that they were so excited about this. Why are they falling apart? It's not because they didn't want it. It's because they can't yet handle the emotional intensity of wanting it. I mentioned this story a few videos ago, but my son often asks for his Aunt Debbie all day long. He adores her. And the second she walks in the door, he runs out of the room. He's not rejecting her. He's overwhelmed by the magnitude of finally getting what he'd been anticipating. Excitement and overwhelm live right next to each other in the nervous system. When autistic kids have a meltdown in the middle of fun, it's not defiance, It's usually just emotional overload. Turns out, too much of a good thing doesn't apply just to chocolate. Fun is still stimulation, and their nervous system doesn't interpret good stimulation and hard stimulation as necessarily different categories. Both require regulation skills they may not yet have. If you're thinking, this makes sense, but I need more help applying it to my children, to my situation, to their specific challenges, that's exactly what I do in my coaching. I'll drop a link below that you can access to see if you might be interested in that level of support. And now let's talk about your experience for a moment. Parents don't often admit this, but sometimes there's a kind of disappointment that comes with school breaks. You imagine rest, you imagine sweet moments, you imagine connection, and when that doesn't happen or it comes with meltdowns, it hurts. You might even feel resentful and then guilty for feeling resentful. But you're not wrong for wanting the break to feel easier, and you need recovery time too. Breaks aren't restful for a nervous system that needs predictability, and that includes your nervous system too. Somewhere in a parallel universe somewhere, there's a parent of an autistic child fully relaxing on break. I'd like to meet them. Here are a few more things that make breaks go more smoothly without adding pressure. 1, lower the cognitive load. Don't plan for magical, plan for manageable. More space, fewer demands. 2nd, create micro anchors. Like I mentioned before, having an anchor like a walk the same time every day or a book after lunch. Even on unstructured days, choose 1 or 2 predictable moments. A consistent morning ritual, a daily outdoor walk, as I said, a quiet time block, predictable bedtime pattern. 3rd, prepare for transitions you know are coming. So a simple, here's what's staying the same, and here's the part that might change. Gives them both security and flexibility. 4, debrief gently after outings or meltdowns. It's not designed to criticize, it's to connect and help them make sense of their own experience. Even if they can't talk about their feelings, your presence communicates, I see what happened and I'm here. 5, adjust expectations for yourself. Don't have to maximize the break. You don't have to create lifelong memories. You don't have to squeeze in every possible experience. Your child benefits more from your steadiness than from those activities. I'm not suggesting you don't do any activities, just that you consider not doing all of them. And finally, even if the break has already gone sideways, you can still reset. You don't need a whole new plan, just tiny shifts that bring the nervous system back to center. Remember, breaks can't be ruined. Your child can't fail a break. You don't have to start over. Your leadership is what makes the biggest difference. And that leadership starts with focusing on what your child's nervous system actually needs, not what break should look like. You're carrying a lot and you deserve support that actually helps. If you want more guidance like this, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you in the next one.